What's poppin', y'all? They're really trying to cook Cenat. They're trying to deep fry that man. And it all started with something that had absolutely nothing to do with him or his sphere or his profession. And that was the assassination of Charlie Kirk. So Charlie Kirk was a very, very, very popular conservative, right-wing, I wouldn't necessarily say influencer, but he was very popular on social media. I frankly didn't know too much about him other than his face being on memes and him being called out by many people for his opinions on a certain quote-unquote conflict that's going on in a certain region of the world and his takes on that. But he was instrumental in like right-wing things and getting Trump elected. And he had a lot of these debates on the campus, similar to, I forgot the other guy's name. He was more of a comedian, like a conservative comedian that would show up with that mug, and he turned into a meme. He's like, I think it was Prove Me Wrong. Yeah, that guy. And then Charlie Kirk like came after that. He had a big organization, all of that. He was at a school in Utah, at a university, taking questions like usual, and then a really, really gruesome video where he gets shot right in the neck from very, very far away and just collapses. And he eventually ended up passing away. So a lot of people politics is very divisive. I don't know if there are things more divisive than it. So people start celebrating, people start feeling heartbroken about it, and when someone is that popular, for some reason, people decide to go to other people's streams, comment sections, and talk about this individual, even though they may have no connection whatsoever. Like, you could have PewDiePie playing PUBG, and then someone says, like, yo, this guy just passed away, and PewDiePie's Swedish, and he's like, what? But people do this. I don't know. They did that with Cenat, and Cenat gave this reaction on stream. I'll play you guys that clip right now. So with this clip,
that's the guy with like the crazy ass takes, right? Or some shit, he be saying some crazy. He be saying some crazy shit, right? Holy shit! What the fuck? Don't watch, okay, bet. He got assassinated. Alright, chat.
I have to break down what's going on here, and you can see it happen in real time. If you slow it down and pay attention, you have to think of yourself as Cenat. Cenat's doing a mafia-thon right now. This guy's, he's laboring. 24/7 he's working. 24/7. And a lot of preparation went into this. Cenat's got a lot of people that show up to his streams. A lot of celebrities. A lot of famous musicians. A lot of, famous cartoonists even. The Total Drama Island guy was recently there, which I hope to do a video on that very soon. And he's also got major sponsors. We're talking this guy had McDonald's. He's got a Nike deal currently. We haven't seen what's come of that yet, but product will most likely be coming soon. Major sponsorships, maybe even movie roles that are upcoming. So in his mind, he's like, oh, shoot. He's thinking, initially, he thinks like, yo, that guy, he's the guy that says like crazy stuff, right? And it's crazy depending on who you ask, but he did get popular for his takes. So anybody that gets popular for their takes, you could say they're crazy takes. Otherwise, they would just be lukewarm and they wouldn't get popular. But he wants, I feel like in his gut, his natural reaction was to say something, I don't know, like an RIP or something, but he thinks, wait, hold on. If I say that, how are people going to react? How will my sponsors react? Will people think I'm co-signing something that the guy said? I don't know what else the guy has said. I know that he has this label on him. How will that label affect me? So he's running like 50,000 calculations in his head of what he should say, and he hits him with what, every gaslighter hits their girl with when they're pretending to care about something that she's got going on. He's like, damn, that's crazy. Or not even just their girl, but their supposed homie. They're like, damn, that's crazy. That's what he hit him with. And he hoped to just move past it. But unfortunately for Cenat, other people are not going to do that. His response was not good enough for many other people. Because a lot of people say, yo, because there are a bunch of people celebrating, but people say, yo, celebrating is crazy. Well, Cenat didn't celebrate, but he didn't react in the way that they wanted. And one of the people to call this out was Sneako. So I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
That's the guy with like the crazy takes, right? Or some shit, he be saying some crazy. He be saying some crazy shit, right? Holy shit!
I'm sure he has no idea what crazy takes that he has. He has no clue. All he knows is that he's not supposed to like him, and he doesn't wait a second after he was shot in the neck publicly a father with 2 kids to say that he has crazy takes. It doesn't. His first reaction is not to say rest in peace. Hopefully he did at some point, but his first reaction is to talk and say he has crazy takes.
What the? Don't watch, okay, bet. He got assassinated. All right, chat.
And just he moves on. Disappointing from Kai. I mean, especially because Kai's a Christian too. Charlie Kirk was a Christian man. He lived by Christian values, whether or not you agreed or disagreed with him.
Sneako and Kai used to have a relationship. They used to, I don't know if we would ever consider them friends, but they were close acquaintances, close colleagues, you could call it, years ago in the first AMP house. And this is a different thing for Kai Cenat because Sneako giving his own opinion or having no problem saying something like that, it got him banned. But when you don't have anything to lose, where else are you going to get taken to? I mean, like, he's on, I don't know what streaming platform that is. I think it's like a crypto-based streaming platform. So it's easier for him to do that, and it's in his personality. But Kai is somebody that's just, he's conflict avoidant when it comes to his career. So he's not going to up and address things. And I think he's conflict avoidant in general because when you look at the situation he had with Adin Ross and he was mad at Adin's manager for telling him that, he didn't tell Adin Ross for many, many months. I think maybe a year. And he just held that in because he probably didn't want to create an actual conflict, and he just withdraws maybe from the person. But what really got Kai Cenat looking crazy, it's people that are moving on his behalf. So Kai Cenat's moderator, or one of his Discord moderators, he has many of them, and this got posted. He said at Mafia Pack Watch. I think this is a girl. I don't know. Pack Watch, and then someone else says for real he is dead like dead, and then another person replies and says chill mud, death and deserving of anybody. And then this person says F Charlie Kirk, and this is very, 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 very bad because, number one, if this person's a moderator moving like this, they're a dingus. They're a fool. I do give a pass to some teens moving like this, but they shouldn't be your moderator because people are really desensitized to things. They just meme things. They just want to engagement bait things, even though this isn't even engagement baiting because this person's in a Discord server. But KickChamp, who is the chief hater of Kai Cenat, posts Kai Cenat's head mod pinged everyone celebrating the tragic death of Charlie Kirk. So now this starts spreading, and then even Adin Ross reacts to this. I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
Kai Cenat pinged everyone celebrating the tragic death of Charlie Kirk. I mean, it's horrible. It's anybody who's celebrating that shit is crazy. There's somebody in my community that did it as well. I saw it. Like, right away, I saw TikToks. Like, if you're celebrating that shit in general, you're just a whack motherfucker. You're just so weird to me, bro. It's insane how weird you gotta be to celebrate that shit, bro. Like,
and credit to Adin Ross. This guy even said, like, yo, I saw somebody in my community celebrating that. And Adin Ross gave his opinions on the situation, which I'm going to play you guys right now.
Like the perfect spokesperson for this shit. But this is like the most fucked up thing I've seen in a while. Like, do you know how insane it is to, like, first off, like, I don't even know where to start, bro. I really, really don't even know where to start, guys. I mean, the one thing I will say we can start with is just like, if you're just sitting there celebrating or happy in any type of way at all, you are part of the problem, for one. And for two, there's something seriously wrong with you. If you're celebrating death where there's a father with children, you don't have to be aligned his views at all. You don't have to agree with everything he has to say, but that's a father with a wife with 2 kids that now have to grow up without a father, you know? And that's just the way it is. And if you don't think that's a problem, if you don't think that instead you celebrating, that's not an issue to talk about, you're part of the problem. You are part of the issue. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are.
I think Adin Ross is correct in calling out people that are just celebrating somebody getting smoked like that. Especially, there are some world leaders that people would celebrate their passing away. But I do think a world leader is very different than someone who was around just talking, just, quote unquote, depending on what they said. But I think he gave a fair take, and I don't think Kai Cenat deserves the hate for any of this. Kai Cenat did not celebrate anything. He did not celebrate that guy's life or his legacy, nor did he celebrate celebrate his death. He just tried to move past the situation as best as he could. Now, his mods, they need to get put in line for if you're doing anything that can be misinterpreted and used against Kai Cenat or anybody really that you represent. Not you're just a member of their community. You're somebody that is seen as an authority, a moderator. You've got a title. You've been knighted by the streamer in some way. You deserve to have that title stripped from you. Like, what are you doing? The first thought in your mind should be, is something I am saying publicly can or may potentially be misconstrued, which you can't really misconstrue what that Discord mod did, but can be used against the streamer who I'm working for? And the answer is, hell no, you should not be doing anything like that. Outside of the whole morality argument, it's just an effective argument, which is like, yo, represent him well. That's it. And Kai Cenat, it's unfortunately something that he's going to have to deal with. I do think he just keeps pushing forward. People are going to forget about this in a couple of days. He didn't say it. There are a lot of other people that were opposed to this guy that are popular that are going to get more heat than Kai. He just needs to thug it out. Hopefully he doesn't fall under the pressure, but this he's a veteran in the game. Not just because he's been in the game for like 4+ years and he's really popular, but because this guy's been studying the game since he was in diapers. This guy's been watching everybody blow up, fall off, mistakes they made, and he actually took notes. You can judge it just by the career that he has and the people that he's associating with. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think Kai Cenat did or said anything wrong? I think people, when you get to a point where you're telling someone this is how they should have reacted and they didn't do anything negative, that's when it's getting a little bit psychotic. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed, and I'm gonna see y'all on the next one.